Broads Media.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome on in to Sports Talk with Broads. How about that for a wild one? Bobby Brink scores 2. Travis Sanheim, he's on the stat sheet, 7 times? That's what it feels like, baby. That guy's playing fantastic. Go look at his time on the ice. He was spectacular. Cam Atkinson making plays just when it felt like this team was going to let it slip away at the start of the third period. Cam, I'm a veteran. Atkinson makes a play in the defensive zone, which then leads to an Owen Tippett breakaway who buries it. Now there's some more separation. It's a 2-goal lead instead of a 1-goal lead, and this is coming right off of a loss in Vegas, which I give them a ton of credit because I thought they played really well in Vegas. That team is a juggernaut, damn it. I don't know if they're going to ever lose a game. They might go 82-0, win a Stanley Cup again, I don't know. And it did feel a little bit like last year's team when they let it slip late, and John Tortorella was very open about Cam York and Zamula and some of the mistakes that happened. At the same time, though, you need to be aware that that's all part of this product. We are a very young, super heavy, youth-filled roster. You'll probably have teams that are ready to go win another Stanley Cup, snag it from you late. You know, it's like that's part of the growing pains. It would have been so nice. But I thought their 2 games on the road in Dallas and Vegas, with all things considered, pretty remarkable. 3 shorthanded goals. Travis Konechny, Sean Walker, and quite frankly, I didn't love the net minding, okay, because Carter Hart did not go, and Erson got the nod. I didn't think he performed very well. If that was Carter Hart in net, maybe you actually secured 2 points instead of just 1, and it's kind of funny to think about them only grabbing 1 point out of a possible 4, and you think to yourself, oh, well, it actually was pretty decent of an effort, but it was pretty damn decent of an effort. And now we're back on the full winter sports grind, by the way. It does suck because I've clearly been keeping my eye on what they've been doing. But when you go up against a postseason run in Red October and the Phillies get eliminated from the postseason, and then, hey, Flyers puck drop 11 o'clock in Vegas, don't forget. Well, there's only so much I could handle emotionally on that night. But now we have to move past the heartbreak and wrap our heads around the fact that this Flyers team is exciting as hell. I gotta think, man, or you gotta think, just in general, this team went through hell last year. There's a lot of these guys that are now back at it at the Wells Fargo Center, and all they dealt with last year was nobody showing up after the fans destroyed them, and rightfully so. They were piss poor, and we were just reacting to the debacle that was. But it's gotta be refreshing if you're Travis Sanheim and you hear about how everybody hates your contract and they want you traded to St. Louis, and then the trade falls through and everyone's angry again, and then you go out there and essentially ball out. That's what he's doing. He's playing insane. I never had it on my bingo card that Travis Sanheim becomes a true number 1 defenseman and a weapon. I never had that in my crosshairs here. And you know what? With Travis Konechny, I always thought he was a damn good player. Do we have a star? You know, and you could say in years past, well, he scored X amount of goals, and you should have saw it last year with 30 goals. Yeah, but this is different. All right, it's a more mature Travis Konechny that brings so much more value than just his domination on the ice. But the way he enters the zone, he stops, he puts the puck between the defenseman's stick, the defenseman's falling, and he's sliding backwards 5 feet, and then he finds somebody open across the ice and finds a nice little opportunity there. He's gross, and the help from Sean Couturier leading by example. You score power play goals in the second period. Let me say that again. 5 on 4, this team scored goals. I can't believe what I'm watching, you know? Look, the beginning of the third period scared the hell out of me. I thought, here we go again. Zamula, Nick Sealer, what are we doing? Guys are wide open. This is unacceptable. But just like that, they respond. They have to learn how to respond, and I think we just witnessed them doing it. Bobby Brink, man. Bobby Brink, this kid's all over the ice. I love watching him with the man advantage. I love watching him everywhere. He's all over the ice. And sure, there was puck luck involved in his first goal in the NHL. Yeah, it hits off the referee. It's right there. But he buries it, baby. And that second one, beautiful IQ, beautiful set of eyes to go to the backside, gets a nice feed from Farabee. Sanheim picks up an apple on that one as well. And you know what? When Sanheim scored his goal, how about Forster, who got robbed earlier in the game on the back post, and then he's aggravated because he wants to score. And when he got his nod last season, he was everywhere, and he was scoring, and he was a beast. And it hasn't really panned out that way early on this season. And remember, you're dealing with a lot of noise surrounding Morgan Frost and how John Tortorella is handling things. He's probably the one that's going to get kicked out of the lineup the day Morgan Frost sees the ice again. But I guess I got to ask the question, is Morgan Frost ever going to see the ice again? And I don't care if he does or doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, this team has been playing so well without him. Not that I think if he enters the lineup and Forster's out. I thought Forster made an awesome pass to Sanheim. And, but ultimately, I think so far this year, he hasn't been as appealing as maybe I would have anticipated for him to start the season. But just like anybody else, and just like this team as a whole, you will have to go through the ups and downs. And, he was so red hot when he started last year. Is it fair to put those level of expectations on him? Yes and no. Yes, he better be a producer. He better be solid. And I think we saw that with his pass today after not being able to bury there. The puck was kind of all over the place, it looked like, and whatever. You get Sanheim the puck in the high slot, and he rips it. I thought Bobby Brink was going to get a howdy. I really did. But getting back to that point, with Forster, if you flip-flopped him and Morgan Frost for one game, is that the difference in this team still performing with the effort that they were today? I highly doubt it. With that said, I've been on that side before. I've been on the side of being a healthy scratch. The team keeps winning. They're playing a good brand of hockey, and the coach wants to keep it as close as humanly possible to the roster that's working their tails off and getting the success that he's looking for. What are you going to do? You got to wait. Sorry, you got to wait. And then whenever you do get in there, the leash is short. But when others are succeeding, you kind of have to wait it out. I like the ceiling of everybody else in the lineup. That makes sense for Morgan Frost to be in there. I like the ceiling of those kids more anyway. You're not going to plug him into a fourth line role, right? And Torts has been very vocal about that. So I'm talking strictly, if you were to take someone out, who would it be? Well, it would be some of these young ones. I like the other guys more. I do. I'm just being honest with you. I do. So I don't care. I don't have that type of love affection for Morgan Frost. He's been here long enough. I'm saying the same damn things about him that I said 3 years ago. I'm sick of it, in all honesty. Sick of it. I'm not sick of watching this team kick some ass, though. Dude, that building was rocking. It was super loud in there. It's got to be refreshing as a team to hear the fans fully get behind you and say, we love what you're doing. We are bought in. We are all in. The style of play is real. It's not faulty. They go at it. They attack. They create. They actually enter the zone with a purpose. Travis Konechny's first goal, are you serious? Now, originally, I thought it was a pure snipe, and maybe it was. Every time I try and catch the replay, which I watch the super close-up, you know how every single replay is a different angle, where the last angle was from the backside of Konechny as he entered the zone. And Nick Sealer picked up an apple on that one. It might have tipped off the stick of the Minnesota Wild by a hair, and maybe that redirected it over the shoulder there, or over the glove side. Regardless, though, what a nip. Dude, what a nip. This guy is finding the net every single game. And I got to tell you something. You got to get yourself to the Wells Fargo Center right now. I'm not playing any games. I'm telling you right now, you have to buy tickets right now to go watch this team live. It's so exciting. You are missing out. And what if I told you I can get you money off for these tickets? That's right. You heard me correctly. And that's why you go to TickPick and you get yourself a pair of tickets for the Philadelphia Flyers. You get $10 off utilizing promo code BROACH. So I'm basically handing you money right now. And the best part about TickPick is they have the best price guarantee. You will not find anything better. Their ticket prices will beat any of the major competing marketplaces, and they're so confident about it, they guarantee it. If you find the seats elsewhere at a better price than TickPick, they give you 110% of the price difference in form of TickPick credit. And they have upfront pricing, so none of this math stuff, none of this math garbage. Well, this isn't the real price. No, it's the real price. There's no more doing math in your head, all right? The price you see on TickPick is the price you'll pay at checkout. Period. This team deserves it. You hear me? This team deserves your love and support, and you should absolutely get yourself to the Wells Fargo Center. Carter Hart is great. Unfortunately, it does seem like we have a setback for Rasmus Ristolainen in the health department, so it is something to monitor, but I'm enjoying watching some of these young defensemen grow and even have some uh-ohs, but then respond from those mistakes. And, you know, it's going to happen. It's a very difficult position, especially when you don't have a ton of experience. There's a lot of high-powered offense and a lot of great wingers and centers that are going to come down on you full speed, and there'll be growing pains throughout that. But watching Zamula and watching Sanheim, I cannot believe this is the same guy. There's no way in hell anybody in the world would imagine seeing Travis Sanheim perform like this. It is sexy. That's right, you heard me correctly. It is so damn electric. He's playing so much time out there, and he's joining the rush. He's the third guy high. He's got good stick on puck. He's making excellent plays in the neutral zone to spring the offense forward on an odd man rush. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this team generates. It's not this awful style where, all right, they got a couple wins early. We've actually seen that before. Remember, it wasn't too long ago. It might even been the AV years, I think. Was it the Tortorella years? I don't remember. Sometimes I try and forget it all because it was pain and misery. But they would have a decent record, but their style of winning was outrageous. They're barely getting any sort of real looks, and they're barely getting shots on net. They're winning 3-1 with 16 shots, and one of those deflected off your pants and went in, you know? I just think that this team bonds together. They love one another. They want to go out there on the ice and compete for one another, where last year it was every man for themselves. And Cam Atkinson's presence is a huge part of that. And Sean Couturier's presence is a massive part of that. And then you have guys like Delorier, who steps up in the beginning of the game and goes, this is how it's going to be, fellas. He drops the mitts right off the rip as soon as puck drop happens, and he takes on a veteran fighter. And he says, yo, let's do it. Let's do it, Patty. And there's something to be said about that and what it does to the room. I think there's a sense of urgency and sort of a bar to hit. Like, okay, you drop the gloves instantly. That's going to set how that game will go. And you will either respond to it or the other team does. Someone has to, right? That's the point of fights, is trying to grab a momentum swing. If you're down, you're looking to inspire the boys. Well, Delorier inspires the boys, and what happens? This team takes a hold of that, and they take it on a ride. They dominated this team. At one point, it was something like the Flyers had 3 goals and the Minnesota Wild had 5, 6, 7 shots, something along those lines. It was less than 10, and the Flyers have 3 goals, right? They're peppering the netminder. They're putting pucks on net. It's so damn lethal how they're doing this. I don't know how sustainable it is, right? I'm not going to make any sort of outrageous claims right now. There's a long way to go. I'm loving what they're doing. That's all. That's what I'm trying to stress right now is I feel that I can sit down every night and be entertained by their style. It's legit. It has a plan. If they continue to do this, they will all become better. It's real hockey. It's not fluky. It's not Chicago Blackhawks. This is why when it's like, Tank, be the Blackhawks, be the Ducks. No, thank you. No, thank you. I want to be this. And you know what? They're not bad enough, and they really aren't even in the position to be Chicago Blackhawks bad. There's enough talent here, and talent that makes sense for the timeline where you're a step ahead of that, right? Remove Connor Bedard from the equation because the McDavids of the world and all that stuff is just in a whole different atmosphere. I'm talking more right now about, Owen Tippett, Noah Cates, Bobby Brink. Bobby Brink is my favorite player in the National Hockey League. That kid, that smile. Put a smile on my face. Did you see how happy he was? Did you see how happy Torts was on the bench, too? You see the fellas tapping him on his helmet like, yo, dude, man, you're playing great, dude. Keep it up. I miss those times. I really do. I miss the locker room. I miss the boys. I miss it all, man. I miss it all. Dancing in the locker room. If you didn't know, I had the moves after a W. You're singing. You're playing the win song. Sometimes I sit back and I think about playing junior hockey again. My college hockey career, when you're in and out of the lineup, it changes the perspective a little bit. And I was in and out of the lineup, unfortunately. So, I go back to like the junior hockey days, and that's, those were some good times with the boys. But watching this team and seeing the way that they love one another, it just makes me reflect on that time and seeing Bobby Brink. You know what I'm saying, man? Look at this. And we're a lot of games into the year right now, okay? They've had one stinker. And they've played some good teams. Going to Vegas and playing that way, that's an impressive effort. Okay? That Vegas team is scary. Other than a weird game against the Ottawa Senators for their home opener on a Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock or so, since then, you win against the Canucks 2-0. You beat up on the Oilers, and Connor McDavid was a non-factor. Not even producing shots on net. That level of a non-factor. You beat them 4-1. Unfortunately, you do lose in overtime against the Stars, but you're scoring these short-handed goals. It's just remarkable how they played that day. The Knights, the Wild, like every game except for one, as they're sitting 6 games in the season. So 5 awesome, amazing, incredible efforts, and I will label it that. 1 bad one. If you are trash, and if you are absolutely terrible, over a 6-game span, the stinkers pop up way more. They're in a good position right now. Looking at the full body of work and the longevity of this turnaround and this new era, everyone's bought in. Everyone's at a good spot youth-wise and leadership-wise, and there's a role for everything. That fourth line, I forget what the score of the game was at the time, but the whistle blew, the play was dead, and Hathaway just feels like, nonchalantly throws his shoulder into someone, starts a scrum. That fourth line is even fourth lining. It takes a lot for me to get suckered into this fourth line, I'm all about it, to appreciate the proper fight at the right time. I'm all in on the fourth line. It makes sense. It tells a story about this brand of hockey that they want to play. It allows some of the other guys to feel more comfortable because they know that they got a Delorier supporting them. A good buddy of mine played in Anaheim and played with Delorier, and when he signed here in Philadelphia, he literally said, Broats, the room loves him. Now, that's not justifying the no movement clause, right? The no trade, Chuck Fletcher, this and that. It doesn't justify a goon getting the contract that he got. But in regards to, okay, he's here. This is what you have. This is the contract Chuck Fletcher laid out for him. The room loves him. And I think that's playing a role into why they're able to establish this identity as a team, that fourth line. There's something to it. Hathaway, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, and I love it. Now, Andre was sent down. Makes a lot of sense. You could tell he's not ready. A little overwhelmed. Makes sense, though. I'm still excited for who he can be and what he can be and everything in regards to that. But yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. It makes a lot of sense. What else makes a lot of sense is my bookie. You can actually probably get some great value on the Flyers moving forward because, well, the expectations were this, and now they're starting to pop and play good. You're going to see them as underdogs at home, and if they continue this, man, you can absolutely cash out. So why not jump on my bookie, utilize promo code BRODES, and you will get a sweet deposit bonus. There's also the MyBookie money bag where you can get crazy odds on potential Super Bowl winners, like a matchup against the Eagles and the Chiefs at plus 38,000. There's so many odds, so many boosts that you could take advantage of. So check it out, MyBookie, promo code BRODES. The link is down below in the description. Okay, let's run to the Anytime Hotline, and let's hear from some of you out there on the Flyers' victory against Minnesota. Wow. Every time I see that Minnesota logo, though, I think of one man and one man only. And it's somebody that I want to get out of my head for the rest of my life, so it's very unfortunate. But his name rhymes with Duck Catcher. Oh, what do you know? I screwed up again. I do this every day. Every single day. I think it's weird when I actually do it properly. What are you going to do?
What an excellent win tonight from these Philadelphia Flyers. Besides what, maybe like 3-4 minutes, they just dominated play tonight. And that's not something that we were expecting really from this team. You know, Bobby Brink gets on the board, his first NHL goal. Oh wait, he has his second too. Owen Tippett gets in the goal column. I'm really loving this team right now. They are out-skating teams, they're out-efforting teams, and they're a great watch right now, bros. Go Flyers.
You're right, baby. You're right, baby. And that was massive for Owen Tippett. I saw frustration, right? You could tell that he was probably getting upset and the expectations, not really the expectations, but the questions were, can he pop 30 plus? Can he be someone who can flirt around 40, which is a very, 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 very high goal for someone like Owen Tippett. Maybe we got too reactionary to some of the stuff we saw last year, but if we're going to keep it 100, there was times where he was so close and he was around the net, but he couldn't bury, and maybe that's part of the Owen Tippett experience. I don't know. I've seen some downs from him so far. I don't know if I loved some of the turnovers, just from the whole sample size of the 6 games. But I also saw a lot of great things. When he gets scoring, though, I'm wondering what some of these players will look like once they get the monkey off the back. If Tyson Foerster finally scores, do we see a stretch where in 3 games he scores 5 goals, right? Or something along the lines of netting 6 points in 4 games once he finally pops one. You're holding the stick too tight, the puck's coming to your back door, you flub it, it goes a little wide, there's a wide open net. Just things tend to happen when you're pressing so much. We just saw it with the Phillies in Game 6 and Game 7 with a chance to go to the World Series. I think the moment got so big, they grabbed the bats too tight, and that can happen here. It's like a, whew, okay, I could take a deep breath now that I scored. So we'll see if someone like Owen Tippett can explode because of that. And with Foerster, I was really hoping he'd score there, but sometimes things are going to go the wrong way. It happens so fast. The game's moving so quickly. What do you do when something wrong occurs? Or what happens when the puck jumps over your stick? Is there bad body language? Do you react poorly? Or do you go in the corner? Do you go behind the net? Do you find the puck? Keep your head up. Look for space. Then see a Travis Sanheim cutting in the middle of the slot who can rip it right after. You know what I'm saying? Wow. 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 This is great. This is great. I love it. I wonder what Amadeo's thinking.
Hunter, get that Stanley Cup gift ready because the Flyers are Stanley Cup contenders. They definitely are. Oh, God. they're playing, really fun hockey to watch, man. They dominated today. That's basically it. Bobby Brink has arrived. Bobby Brink in the future has arrived. Just wait till Cutter Goethe and his one-timer and Matvey Michkov show up. Oh, my goodness. They're going to be dominating the league along with Norris Trophy candidate Travis Sanheim. Who the hell?
Hold on real quick. I forgot I have the luxury of pausing so I can just blurb something out there. Don't forget Oliver Bonk. You know what I'm saying? Oliver Bonk. Go watch your London Knights highlights, all right? Go tune into your OHL highlights. We're psychopaths. Continue.
Would have thought that he had this strong of a start to the season, but hey, good for them. Good for them. They're playing a fun brand of hockey. They're off to a very hot start. I'm not sure how long it's going to last. I think they're still going to be a little bit better than last year, but we'll see how this season rides. Carter looks good. TK looks really good. Coots, for having, 2 back surgeries, looks fantastic. It's just fun to watch. It's a nice distraction from all the other pain. It just is.
Well, this team won't hurt us, right? I mean, come on now. It'd be a fool to think that this team would hurt us. There's something that doesn't hurt me, and that's HelloFresh. It actually helps me tremendously, and it can help you as well. All right, what if I told you that sometimes you get stuck in that dinner time rut? It's very unfortunate. But there's 40 recipes to choose from every week. There's always something delicious to discover with HelloFresh, and they drop it right at your door. It's already pre-portioned. There are so many different options to go to, and there's so much variety. It's beautiful. I am now cooking every night at home, and I've actually found joy in it. It's something that I never truly did in the past, and now I'm all about it. Like, hey, hon, what do you want me to make tonight? You know what I'm saying? I'm pumped for 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock when it's time to dig into the HelloFresh. HelloFresh is 25% less expensive than takeout, so that means you get easy home-cooked meals on the table and more money back in your pocket. It takes about 5 minutes to prep, 15 minutes total to cook, and 20 minutes you're sitting down and you're eating, and there's step-by-step pictured cards that come with your pre-portioned food. It gets dropped off right at your home. Go to HelloFresh.com/50broads and use code 50broads for 50% off and free shipping. That's 50% off and free shipping with promo code 50broads. It is America's #1 meal kit, and it is so damn lethal. Just like this Flyers offense. Oh, who would have thought, baby? Who would have thought? I can't wait for their next game. That's where I'm at. Look at the desk calendar, bro. Don't ask me twice. Hopefully, maybe you actually wrote down the right dates. What does it say here? It says Saturday, October 28th. What do we got here? I can't see. I'm blinded by all the greatness in orange and black. What does that say? Oh, it says Ducks Flyers 1 p.m. I'll see you there. What does that say? Monday? Does that say Monday? What does that say? Carolina coming to town. Flyers 7 p.m. All right, I need these games in my life ASAP, so I could see another Travis Konechny snipe, so I can see another coming down the half wall, one knee up, little flex of the stick's basically touching the ice, a little Alex Ovechkin in his prime. By the way, I was watching a little bit of the Capitals and the Devils the other night on TNT. I think it was the only game on, and I caught the third period. And they showed Ovi on the bench after he scored a empty netter. And it just reminds me of how old I am. Watching him play and seeing... Now, I think he aged quickly. He looks like he's 73 years old with all the gray and whatnot. He's a big dude. I don't know how he still can skate with some of the kids these days that are rolling around at 18, 19, 20. The speed, like, how do you keep up with that? I don't know. But looking at him goes, damn. I remember when him and Sid came into this league. Now I'm watching Sid teach Connor Bedard behind the scenes how to be a pro. I watched Alexander Ovechkin and said, I'm old as hell. Look at that guy. One day, Bobby Brink's going to be 40, and he's going to be breaking the all-time record, all right? It goes Bobby Brink, Alex Ovechkin, Wayne Gretzky for goals. Oh, and there. If you thought anything else was happening today, then shame on you. If you didn't think that comment was going to come out of my mouth, well, then you're just a dope. I love you guys to death. You guys are the greatest in the entire world. Hey, Let's go Flyers! Let's go Flyers! I love hearing that at the center, man. I love it. Catch you guys all on the next one.